chapter 4, Dr. Hesselius is reading in the study room of the Reverend Mr. Jennings, where the Reverend enters to greet his visitor. Dr. Hesselius takes note of the Reverend's appearance because he can tell that something is troubling him. As they start talking, the Reverend makes an effort to denounce a doctor that Hesselius just so happens to know. Apparently, this doctor hadn't been very useful. The Reverend follows by making a request to consult with Dr. Hesselius, of which the doctor is happy to oblige. Dr. Hesselius can't forget the distraught appearance of the Reverend, and after a few days, the Reverend contacts him for an appointment. Here the Reverend Mr. Jennings begins his strange tale. It seems that a number of years previous, the Reverend had embarked upon a writing project on the subject of ancient metaphysical thought. He adds that to help him along in his work, he often drank tea, moving from ordinary black tea to the more pleasant green tea. One night, after visiting a friend, the Reverend Mr. Jennings takes an omnibus home, only to notice that after the other passengers have left, a set of eyes are staring at him in the darkness. The Reverend is shocked to realize that he is being watched by what appears to be a monkey. In chapter 7, we see that the Reverend Mr. Jennings is mortified to learn that he is hallucinating the presence of a monkey. He ponders the state of his health and questions the difference about what he learns about his possible condition and what he truly feels. He tells Dr. Hesselius that for the most part, the monkey is always there. But what's worse is the malignant way in which the monkey is always staring at him. Emanuel Swedenborg was a Swedish, pluralistic Christian theologian, scientist, philosopher, and mystic. He lived during the 18th century, and the passages that Hesselius reads are from the Arcana Celestia that Swedenborg wrote. The selected passages are important to the story because they foreshadow the up-and-coming encounter between the Reverend Mr. Jennings and the monkey. These passages suggest that there are at least two evil spirits hovering around every man. And so it's possible to conclude with this advanced information that the hallucinatory monkey is potentially an evil spirit. Green tea was discovered in 2737 BC when the Emperor of China accidentally drank some heated water with a dead leaf in it. Green tea first appeared on the menu in England in 1657, and it was served along with a pamphlet that described its medicinal value. So what we have to do now is figure out the connection between green tea, because that's the title of the story, and the compelling conflict, which is the encounter between the Reverend Mr. Jennings and the mysterious monkey. Mid-length into the story, and we can start to conjecture some ideas about the presence of the monkey. One is that it may be a textually devised metaphor, which denotes a sense of guilt for something the Reverend may have done. The monkey is described as having a malignant look, and therefore it may be there to psychologically reproach the Reverend, if in fact he is harboring a secret. Alternatively, the monkey may represent the onset of some mental illness. No one else can see the monkey, so it may be that we are seeing the portrayal of a disease that is characterized by hallucinations, such as schizophrenia. Or, lastly, we could take the story at its most literal level, and in accordance with Swedenborg's ideas, the monkey may well be an evil spirit. But are we going to learn why it has suddenly appeared